Hey guys, it's CWillyHD here, and welcome back to Game Breakers. This time we'll be continuing our Super Mario Sunshine series with Pinna Park. This level definitely has the most glitches of any so far. Getting a glitched bomb, wrong warping into the sky, accessing the Yoshi go round early, and more. So let's not waste any more time and get into the video. In episode 1, Mecha-Bowser appears. There are 2 long cutscenes you have to sit through, but we can skip both of them. As you're chasing Shadow Mario, water slide through these poles. Once you pass the second set, pause and select exit area. Instead of kicking you out of the level, it'll skip straight past the cutscene and begin the fight. After hitting Mecha-Bowser 4 times, there's a cutscene after that we can skip too. After landing the final hit, it'll begin to break down. As soon as you see the little explosions on the sides, pause and exit area again. You'll skip past the other, longer cutscene and spawn right next to the shine. By jumping past these 2 cutscenes, we save about 3 minutes, which can be helpful in speedruns. If you've played through the game already and don't care for them, this could be helpful too. To enter the secret in episode 2, you normally need to throw 3 bombs at Monty Mole to unlock it. But if we stand here in the grass and slide flip dive at the mole, he'll try to retreat, but we'll be right there to hit the load zone. The top of the cannon lid doesn't block you quick enough, so we're able to get inside the hole before it closes, skipping the bomb throws. During other episodes like 6, if we head over to the cannon again, there will be a Pianta blocking the entrance. But he doesn't do a very good job because if you ground pound on the edges of the hole, you'll clip right past him and inside. You can't enter the secret as the load zone isn't here during other episodes, but you can still get a pretty cool view and you're able to spray the Pianta. His whole model isn't even here as we're only able to see the one half of him. You can also talk to him, but other than that, there's not a whole lot to do here. You can get out really easily by jumping. In certain episodes such as 5, there will be Swipe and Stews trying to steal Mario's hat. If they do, you'll begin taking damage due to the sun. But if you're in the middle of talking to an NPC as you lose your last bar of health, Mario will just fall over and die right on the spot, but stay in the conversation. You can keep the dialogue up as long as you want, but as soon as it ends, you'll die like normal. It does look pretty funny at the time though, like the conversations just bored Mario to death or something. Episode 5, the Runaway Ferris wheel, has you going back here in this dark platforming section to scale up the back side of the ride. However, this can be tricky and the camera can really be annoying, so let's skip it. If you come up this caged ramp, you'll see the front of the Ferris wheel. Well, if you simply jump and hover across, you'll clip right through it like it's not even there. Now you can just walk over and return the Ferris wheel back to normal speed. This really isn't a glitch, but I'm guessing the developers didn't add collision here or didn't expect you to really try jumping through it. Either way, it's a nice shortcut to collect the shine. Over on the right side of the park, you'll see this wooden statue thing. We need to jump and hover so Mario is just at the middle of the nose. If you're in just the right spot, Mario will clip right through and land inside. For some reason, there's no actual ground texture in here, so it's just a big blue circle. There's nothing really to do in here, so when you're content, just jump on out. If you want a better out of bounds trick, this one's not too hard either. Head up the ramp leading to the Ferris wheel until you reach this brick wall. Jump off the side so Mario's in line with the left side of it and begin hovering at the ledge. If you're in the right spot, Mario will just clip through, but I'd recommend ground pounding as soon as you can, as you sometimes pop back in bounds or grab a ledge. After landing down on the bottom, you're in a big blue void and need to keep jumping to stay alive. The first place I went to was the pool in the middle of the park. If you jump low enough, you'll pop back under the water. There's not a whole lot to see here since it's a pretty small area and jumping too high will place you back in the water. I tried to see what else I could do out of bounds, but unfortunately there are invisible walls everywhere. I tried going near the ocean, but I couldn't. I also tried leaving the park through the gate, but there were walls over here too. I couldn't really find any other areas of interest, so I guess the pool of water is the only real thing to do. Up next is a very odd one found by Inkstar. In episode 3, Red Coins of the Pirate Ship, you'll find these Electro Koopas upside down on these cages. Normally if you hit one, Mario will get electrocuted and then push backwards a little bit. This is important as the push is what causes the glitch. When one's close to the edge of the cage, jump off and hover so you're low enough to grab onto the ceiling and run into the Koopa. If it's close enough to the edge, Mario will get shocked and then the camera will turn to the sky. It'll catch up to Mario, who's now grabbing onto an invisible ceiling. It's literally just one little square, so you can't even move around on it, just spin. You can also kick the sky, which looks pretty funny. Before we talk about getting down, I want to take a guess on why this happened. So remember the whole getting pushed backwards after taking damage? Since we're hovering close to the ceiling, the game was prepared to have Mario grab onto it, but since we took damage, the game also pushed us back so we weren't even on the cage anymore, and there was nothing for Mario to grab. But the game was trying to place Mario in the hanging state, so the result was wrong warping him into the sky grabbing nothing. Now that we're up here, the only real option is to fall. Since we're so high up, it takes a really long time to land back in the park. It's similar to the height we got last time in Gelato Beach, so after over an hour we finally landed back on the ground. Again, I wouldn't recommend falling for an hour unless you really want to, but luckily after doing the wrong warp you could just pause and exit area while you're hanging here. After spraying Shadow Mario with enough water, he'll fall over and the shine will spawn. As that's happening, stand underneath it, enter Mario Cam, and spin around. When you collect the shine, Mario will be facing a random angle away from the camera. You can do this with other shines too. If you jump into them, you'll have a little bit of time before you land to enter Mario Cam and spin around. This will give you a similar result, and you can do this whenever you collect a shine in the game. For this glitch, we don't need to enter the park. Just grab Yoshi from over here. Bring him all the way back to this box next to the wall. We need to jump over top and dismount him so he falls in between the two. If he's far enough in the wall, when you hop back on, hold down L and sidestep to the left. Mario will shoot down below the level and land in the water. There's not a whole lot to do down here, and your time is limited due to the water and you'll drown soon. You can get a pretty cool view of Pinna Park though. I tried swimming around, but I'm pretty sure you're just stuck here with no way out. So all you can really do is take in the view before you die. This next glitch is pretty amazing. We need to revisit episode 2 after unlocking Yoshi. Once on him, head to the cannon. Notice how Monty Mole only throws 4 bombs before one blows up, but we can force him to throw 5. After he throws the 4th, quickly spray Yoshi to create 4 platforms. These are technically stored in the game as bombs, but Monty gets confused and throws another bomb. Dismount Yoshi and try and spray the 5th and pick it up. This can be kinda tricky as it just despawns a few seconds later. Once you pick it up, you'll immediately notice things are off. Mario's now holding a pretty glitched bomb that causes him to randomly shift around while jumping, walking, or even standing. You can pull off some pretty crazy jumps, and this alone is pretty cool. You can hold the bomb as long as you want, just make sure not to land in the water or it will explode. We can take this glitch a step further though if you triple jump. Mario will just continue to hop even though there's no ground below him. You don't have to press any buttons anymore either. Mario will just keep jumping non-stop. You can go as high as you want and get a pretty cool view of the level. You can even get high enough that Al Delfino completely disappears. Once you're content with Mario's height, simply press B to throw the bomb and he'll begin falling. It might take a while if you were jumping for a long time, but it gives you another chance to take in the view. While I was close to the ground, I noticed these bullet bills were glitching out too. But once you land back in Pinna Park, everything will be back to normal. This is definitely my favorite glitch in this level and probably one of the best in the game. The movement on the ground is fun enough, and getting all that height is a nice bonus. It kinda reminds me of the bomb glitch from Super Mario 64, the way it moves while jumping around. Next up is probably the hardest glitch in the level. It's known as Early Yoshi Go Round, discovered by Kefalon, and allows you to skip past episode 5 and go right into episode 6 secret. You can do this glitch in either episode 3 or 5, but you have to have already beaten episode 4 to unlock Yoshi. Episode 5 is more beginner friendly, so I'll show off that method. Start off by entering the level and grabbing whatever fruit Yoshi needs. This can be a little tricky because you have to spray at the right spots on the ground, so here's a guide for that. Once you're on Yoshi, we need a durian and a papaya. Once you spray up the papaya, push it towards the entrance. Now dig up and eat a durian because we need to spray the swipe and stews for the moving platforms. Before we do that, we need to throw the papaya through the gate. Stand about here, run forward, and throw it. This will make sure it doesn't go too far and fall below the level. Once that's done, head over to these swiping stews and have them follow you in a line. Walk over to this corner and have the camera angled like this. Wait here, and once the first stew's shadow touches you, move away from it so it slams down. We now need to wait for it to bob 3 times before spraying it. What I mean by that is after a swiping stew slams down, it doesn't consistently rise back up. It bobs a little each time, so after the 3rd, spray it with Yoshi, being sure to avoid the other stew. Now come up to the side of it, hold L, and sidestep through the platform. If you sprayed it at the right time, you'll be able to clip through the gate and on the other side, avoiding the load zone for the park. Now that we're here, we have to have the other stew come through and stand on this corner with the camera towards the gate. When it's close enough, ground pound and spray so you hit the stew. Now quickly run back, eat the papaya we threw earlier, and jump onto the platform before it leaves. If you angled it right, you'll be heading for the Yoshi Go Round. The direction is important as there's a barrier surrounding the whole park, so if you don't get it right, you'll just shoot down and die. But if you got it just right, you'll end up at the Yoshi Go Round. All you gotta do now is find the missing pole, and since we ate the papaya, we're the right color to enter the secret. If you couldn't already tell, this glitch is pretty complicated. Speedrunners use it to skip episode 5 and most of 6 to save time, but I wouldn't recommend this one for casual players. If you're interested in a more in-depth tutorial of this trick and pulling it off in episode 3, I'll leave a link in the description below. Up next, walking underwater outside the park. As soon as you enter the level, come over to the left side with these rocks. Swim into this ledge and mash B. Mario will freak out a lot, but if you're lucky, he'll just pop down into the ground not swimming. You're not free to walk around this area even though there's not a whole lot to do. The only real area of interest I found was the ground and the collision are a little messed up here. Other than that, it's just the ocean floor and invisible walls. So that's going to do it for this episode. If you enjoyed, please drop a like and subscribe. This was a big one, but if you'd like to check out any of the other worlds I've covered so far, there will be a playlist on screen. But for now, I'm going to get up out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, see ya!